Alright, what's up ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here and welcome to another video. What is this game that you guys see in the background? That's right, this is indeed Injustice 2. I want to talk about Joker 2. I want to talk about the Joker, but I wanted to do with something a little bit different than playing just Mortal Kombat 11, because we all know Mortal Kombat 11 Joker is the best Joker of all time in like any of the NetherRealm games. Injustice 1, Injustice 2, MK11. MK11 eats both Jokers whole. But I had to talk about Joker 2 because you guys know I'm a die-hard Joker fan. Die-hard Joker fan. Going back to respect the great Cesar Romero.
Savvy another round, Super Freak?
Why can't you stay dead?
I always have extra lives.
So going back to, show some respect to Cesar Romero, the OG, makeup under the mustache, to obviously Heath Ledger had that legendary performance of the Joker. I even like Jared Leto, okay? That's how much I love the Joker. I love some aspects of the Jared Leto Joker. I don't love everything about it, but I love some aspects of Joker. And of course, the 2019 absolute masterpiece. Some people don't think it. I do. The first Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I've watched all these movies, and obviously my Joker from childhood is Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is the Joker in the Batman animated series. That's why I got introduced to Joker. He's my Joker forever. I love Joker so much. Out of all the DC characters, you guys know this. A lot of you guys feel the same way. So I was really excited when Joker 2 was announced. I was less excited when I did hear from, the beginning that it was going to be a musical. I'm like, okay, a Joker movie, a Joker sequel, right? That's going to be a musical involving Harley Quinn. I don't know about this one, but of course I'm willing to give it a chance.
What are you doing? That's robot for your dead.
Begin.
So obviously I'm willing to give it a chance. How do you do interactables? Okay, there you go. I'm willing to give it a chance. And yeah, I went to the movie theater with an open mind, even though I had been hearing that a lot of people were giving bad reviews to the movie, saying it sucked, blah blah blah. But there was a lot of that going on during the first Joker movie, but there was a lot more people saying that it was really good. So it had some positive energy to it. This one had none, but I don't really care. I'm not influenced by other people's opinions. So I go into the movie theater. For me, I actually really like the animated sequence at the start of the movie. By the way, there are going to be some spoiler talk here, so if you guys don't want to get spoiled, I probably recommend you click off the video. But the animation in the opening sequence I thought was really clever. I'm like, okay, so they're gonna tackle this thought of Arthur Fleck being taken over by the Joker persona. And then towards the end of the animation, the Joker persona and the Arthur Fleck persona sort of join together, right? And then the cops start beating the hell out of them. I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that right now, because it seems like they're gonna focus on that. They're gonna focus on Arthur Fleck embracing this Joker personality persona. And then we get into the movie, and it starts off with just Arthur Fleck being Arthur Fleck. And I would probably say for the first half of the movie, I was confused as to what I was watching. I was like, okay, they want to go this direction. Oh wait, they might go this direction.
It's not the suit that makes the man. Are you my tailor? I'm your Undertaker.
Ooh, we are the Undertaker today, burying Joker 2. No, I will say this. There are parts of Joker 2 that I did enjoy. I really enjoyed some of the shots. I think the movie looks really good. The movie looks like gorgeous. The cinematography still is top notch. A lot of the shots, especially when Harley puts the smile with the lipstick on the glass, and then Arthur Fleck smiles on it. Fuck, man, I got chills watching that in the movie theater. I watched it in the trailer, but watching it in the movie theater was a whole different story. I got chills during that. There's a number that Joker does where he's sitting in the dark on a stool and the spotlight is shining on him when he's about to start singing. Oh, I got chills with that one too. Just those shots right there are two of my favorite shots in the movie. So there are parts of the movie that I did like. It's not a complete disaster as far as not liking anything of it. There are some parts that I like. But like I was saying, for the first half of the movie, I was totally confused on the direction where this movie was going. And then starting in the second half, once Arthur Fleck starts to embrace the Joker character, you know, motivated with his interest in Harley Quinn, I'm like, okay, you know, my girlfriend who didn't really get into the first Joker movie, she was like, even she thought the direction was headed more towards, all right, so they're actually gonna have Arthur Fleck embrace his Joker persona and carry on with that and go from there. And in the middle of the courtroom scene, once they gave him his last like chance to talk to the jury, he completely flips it upside down. So everything that was built upon from the original Joker movie, where he starts off as Arthur Fleck, no confidence, lives with his mom, and then it gets picked on, bullied, just down on his luck, mental problems. Towards the middle, when he stops taking his medication, right, and then he develops his confidence. And I'll talk about like the beauty of the first movie and why they shouldn't have even been made. But let's just go with what the story tells you. So he makes up this Joker persona in his head that he feels confident in doing. And he does what he does in the first movie. And it seems like everything in the first movie that was shown, you know, actually did happen. So
maniac.
So much for a friendly wager.
in the first movie, if you guys remember, one of the cool things about the first Joker movie is you actually didn't know if the whole movie was told through the eyes of just Joker, right? Arthur Fleck. He might have been making the whole thing up. You didn't really know as a viewer. You know, some things he might have lied about. Some things he might have imagined. Maybe the whole thing he imagined. And nothing actually happened. So that was one of the cool things about the first Joker movie. It kind of left you like, okay, did this actually really happen? You know, did he actually kill Mary Franklin, or was he in the hospital the whole time? And everything that they showed did actually happen in the movie, as it was proven in Joker 2. But once they get into playing the movie and starting through the jail scene and a lot of the beginning of the movie, it just shows that Arthur Fleck sort of went back to being Arthur Fleck. Instead of keeping with that Joker persona, which he ended the movie on, even like killing the psychiatrist at the end of the movie, right? And he's like running around dancing. He's still kept that persona, the Joker persona. And in the beginning, they just completely removed that. And then they gave it back to him, and you're like, okay, you know, this is kind of goofy, the whole courtroom scene where he's actually allowed to dress as with his makeup clown and everything and make a mockery of the court system. You know, a lot of that was just like really goofy in my opinion. But he was back to sort of embracing that Joker character that the first movie ended off on. And then they completely flip that around and turn around completely, do a 360 and just erase all that progress from the first Joker movie and pretty much spit in everyone's face that
knowledge eternally.
Everything burns.
spit on everyone's face that, you know, it sort of invested time into, like, it's kind of hard to say like caring about the character, even though you do have some sympathy for Arthur Fleck, right? But just caring about this Joker character in general, like enjoying the Joker for being the psychotic maniac that he is, right? That's what he's supposed to be. And then they completely undo all that in the second half of the movie, when Arthur Fleck just, you know, he pretty much admits, yeah, this was just a fantasy that I created, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to go back to just being Arthur Fleck. I don't want to be the Joker. And I kind of felt like the fans were represented as the guy at the end who clearly was inspired by his acts and everything, right? And he was angry that Arthur Fleck, instead of embracing the Joker character, sort of went back to just being Arthur Fleck. And it was pretty clear that they wanted to show, so Arthur Fleck never wanted to be the Joker. He's not the Joker, but he inspired this guy who ends up killing him, who will end up being the Joker. And he's literally cutting a smile on his face while laughing, while Arthur Fleck is there, dying, on his way to see like a visitor that is never named. So yeah, the movie is, first of all over the place, and then it's pretty clear that it wanted to show that this movie should have never been made, and that this character never wanted to be the Joker. And it seemed like Todd Phillips was just making a movie to sort of distance himself from the Joker character, because he made this, in my opinion, masterpiece with the first Joker movie. Everyone is saying, this is Joker. I don't think he ever envisioned the movie to like go full on people believing that that's actually Joker. And I don't even think he even thought about making a second one anyway. But when something is successful and there's like a big company behind it, eventually they're going to make a sequel. And that happens with a lot of movies, right? They come out with the first movie and the second movie is always a disaster. There's few cases where the second movie is actually better than the first movie. Aliens, Terminator 2. I can't think of another one at the moment. Aliens, Terminator 2, those are the ones that to me are better than the original. But it was pretty clear those directors had, a vision and a good story to tell. Joker 2, in my opinion, was just trying to sort of kill itself. It was trying to like get rid of itself. That's why they got rid of Arthur Fleck. There's nothing. The story of Joker is literally Arthur Fleck, right? It's his story, his transition from being this loner mama's boy that gets picked on with mental conditions, and he gets pushed too far and then ends up retaliating and becoming the Joker. And they completely undid everything from the first movie by killing Arthur Fleck. So I had read in an interview from Todd Phillips, describing that this is what their idea was for the movie. It was for Arthur Fleck to come out and, admit that he never wanted to be the Joker, and that he was confident enough in himself to say that he doesn't want to be the Joker anymore and go back to just being Arthur Fleck. That's all fine and good, but did they really have to do him that way at the end? Just to like, I don't know, maybe they were like, it felt like they were tossing a bone to the audience where the guy kills him and then he's like slashing a smile on his face, right? I felt like that was like a bone toss to the fans. Like, here, you guys wanted a Joker? Here you go. Here's the real Joker. I think it would have been a little bit more shocking if Harley was the one that killed him. She was so pissed off that Joker or Arthur Fleck abandoned the Joker fantasy, because that's all she cared about the entire movie, manipulated him to sort of get that confidence, that Joker confidence back. And it would have been, like, in my opinion, better and more shocking if Harley was the one, okay, Arthur, you have a visitor, it's her, and then she shoots him in the head like the way he did to Murray Franklin or something. That would have been better. There's another like scene where he finds her on the steps, right? And then that's when she calls him Arthur for the first time and tells him, like, you're never going to see me again. This is not a thing anymore. Wouldn't it have been a crazy, like, shocking scene, right? If he throws her down the stairs, as obviously Joker is a very toxic boyfriend. He throws her down the stairs, and Harley being Harley, especially in this movie, she's fucking nuts. Like, she's just bleeding from her mouth, right? She's bleeding from her mouth. They pan to her face, and then she starts smiling. She like gives a little smile like that's my Joker, because that's how fucking crazy Harley is, and that's how much of a maniac Joker would be. You know, he literally tossed Harley out the window once in the animated series. Fucking crazy. A kids show. So yeah, I don't know, man. I rambled on for a really long time, but I was so looking forward to this movie, and I was, 5 people actually walked out of the movie theater. 5 people walked out of the movie before the last 30 minutes. 5 people. I've never actually witnessed anyone walking out of any movie ever in my life. And then I go watch Joker, and this is a small theater. This was at the Alamo Theater in downtown. Very small theater. Like maybe it fits 25 people in the room. No, maybe like 40, 45, 50. It was definitely not packed, and 5 people walked out. So, it should speak volumes right there. But yeah, I probably rambled on way too much, but let me know in the comment section what you guys think. This is a day after, so I've had a little bit more time to compose my thoughts, because if I would have done this right after the screening, I was like really pissed. The reason I was pissed off, like, because the movie ends with Arthur Fleck fucking dying. I was so pissed off at the fact that they killed him off. They could have brought his story full circle without having him die, or die in that specific way that he died. So I had more time to compose myself. Would I watch it again? I think I would watch it one more time just to see if I feel any differently, but I would not go back to the movie theater to watch it. I would recommend people watch it one time and then see how you feel about it. You might actually like the journey of Arthur Fleck, sort of having enough confidence in himself to not sort of give in to somebody that he's not, right? That's commendable. I understand all that. Wanting to be himself, just Arthur Fleck. But I feel like they went about it the wrong way, especially making the movie into a musical. Yeah, I don't know, man. So that is it. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, Joaquin Phoenix playing Joker and playing Arthur Fleck was still absolutely brilliant. Still, in my opinion, the highlight of the movie, just seeing Joaquin Phoenix act and give the commitment to becoming that fucking malnourished and skinny again, and putting on a performance worthy of Joker and Arthur Fleck. Like, his acting was amazing. Still, he could have dialed it in. He could have been like, all right, this is just a paycheck. I really don't want to make another Joker movie. And obviously, he did not want to make another Joker movie. But they offer you $25 million. I'm going to force myself to do anything. But he could have dialed it in. But no, he was just as good as he was in the first movie. It was just the material and the writing and the dialogue in the first movie, and the scenes were so much more impactful and meaningful that his acting was able to come through in the performance. So he was still really good acting in Joker 2, but the material was so much better in the first movie that it highlighted how good he was. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for hearing out my rant. I'm passionate about the Joker, just like all you guys. And yeah, I'll watch Joker 2 again in a few months when it's like available on streaming on HBO Max or whatever. But I still hold the first Joker movie as a masterpiece, and I hold it as its own movie. I really do not want to have these two movies be linked, even though it's a sequel, But for me, I will always just focus on the original Joker movie, and that's it. Because there was no need to make a sequel. It literally left the audience wondering if this was real, if it actually happened, if it didn't happen. There were so many questions that, sort of leaves you wondering, okay, like, it makes you think about the movie in many different ways. And it was just perfect. It was perfect. If you wanted to believe that he was actually the Joker, you could believe that he was a Joker. If you wanted to believe that he was just nuts and making all this up in his head, and the movie ends with him in the asylum, was where he has been the whole time and all that was in his head, then you could believe that too. But that was like one of the beautiful things about the first movie. It leaves open-ended sort of discussion on what the hell, like, what happened in the movie. Like, did it actually happen or not? Different ending possibilities. So that's it for me. All right. I'm going to go watch the UFC fight. Hopefully, Alex Pereira Potan ends up defending his title tonight. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I love you all. Long live the Joker. He lived through Jared Leto, which a lot of people said was the worst performance ever, and he will live on way after Joker 2. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you aren't subscribed already, make sure you guys do so. And if you want to see some more, there's videos popping up on the screen right now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.